Am I on? Namaste, everyone. India.
Namaste, Haribol Japa, you are on.
Padman, I was just, during this time in VCon, I would be at the dock, before trying
Yes,
to be fired up, like, you're like going to a tournament,
yes.
sort of like that feeling, having some butterflies a little bit on the stomach. Despite our many times going up on stage, every time it's still like a new experience for the first time. And I'm just like experiencing that too right now. Although I'm sitting in the chair, I'm not really hearing the loud sound, screaming, touching of, hands, shaking hands, hugging, all of that in the backgrounds. But I guess this is the best thing also that we could do
No,
during our situation.
Japa,
But
we
anyway,
voted you the best view on Zoom. For some reason, you look so good
oh
on
my,
Zoom. And you look
oh
so
my God.
close to us. We are so connected, Japa. We feel very connected.
Yeah, this is one thing I've noticed. I really, because well, you guys call me a master of one-on-one, and I find Zooming very more intimate because I could really get on each other person's faces in their home. I'm right there. And so, Patman, actually, this afternoon, of course, guys, please accept my respectful, all my respects, my obeisances to everyone. Salam, namaste, namaskar, and whatever language you are in the world right now, I give my respects to all of one. I would not be here today if not for all of you. You made us who we are today, and we're just. I want to give more. I just couldn't stop giving more what we've learned so that we could somehow make this journey easy for you. And this is the purpose of V Team. Uh, we have 24 years of experiences that you could immediately get in these next 3 days. Those 24 years of experiences is hard knocks, blood, sweat, and tears, but you could take advantage of this because this is what we would like to really share with you. I know we don't have much time. I could not get on-one with you. The interaction is a bit different, but we will do our best. So thank you for, again, being patient with us, listening. I know some of you might having some discomfort sitting, for hours, but it's all worth it because we all done that. We've sat down. I've sat down in many chairs, burning my butt, listening. But at the end, it was all worth it because our business is truly amazing because we could achieve our success, we could achieve our goals, and in the process, we grow, we mature. And one thing I realized, Patman, and I need somebody to be sort of like bouncing, so there's some interaction with
Yes,
me. I
Japa,
hope
I'm
are you
here.
there? Are you going somewhere for some chai or whatever?
No, I'm here,
The
Japa.
reason for this, Patman, I was just, what was the point I was trying to make? That the God, I forgot what I was gonna. There was some important point I was just make is that we get to the experience we had the last 24 years. Basically, we get to share with you in a sort of like in a capsule, yeah. And so this afternoon, I would sort of want to share some of these points. Yesterday, we were talking about change, and I started off by saying that change actually takes place from within. But of course, this is very difficult to accept because traditionally, most of us think in terms of looking at other people. Why don't you change? We tell our kids, oh, don't do this. You must change. We tell pretty much, we go around telling everybody that they should change. But we never really sat down and told ourselves, Batman, I have to change. Japa has to change.
Yeah.
It's always somebody else. You know what I mean? But when I met Datu VJ, it was like that for me, because I was always in a leadership position, teaching, speaking, taekwondo, and always like in the point of telling people what they should be doing. But when I met VJ, that had changed. So now I sat down and looked at myself and said, what should I change? What should I change? And this afternoon, Batman, this is what I want to do. And I don't know how I could reach to the thousands of viewers watching, right? That I'm actually speaking to them one-on-one. Now I want to really go down to the brass tacks. How do you make that change?
Yes, Japa.
It's very important. We cannot just be talking abstract. Okay, change, rah, change. And everybody's thinking, oh yeah, you should change. My brother-in-law should change. My brother should change. Everybody should change. The world should change except me. And the reason for that, because if you look at it, if you look at your life and analyze just let's not even go far, Batman. The last year, you're right. Just the last pandemic. What have you changed in your life? This is a big question. What are you doing differently today? What are you doing differently today than last 10 years? Now, if your life has not made some changes, and 1 year is already a lot. You know, you realize, Patman, you could do a lot of things. Just this whole pandemic, I'm just like, I could not believe the kind of things that I was able to do because of this, what do you call this? The time has become free now, the 8-hour one-day travel immediately disappeared. I thought I was busy before, but actually you're traveling, you're in a plane, and now you have all of this time as a gift, during the pandemic. And I was going, oh my God, how would I have this millions and millions and priceless time, which is really the price of time, in my hand. I got millions of dollars in my hand, and how would I spend it? That's been like the what do you call it? The big question I had the first week of
lockdown
of the pandemic. I have these millions. How am I going to spend it? I didn't realize that I was such a billionaire in terms of time, and I was trying to put a price on time, Patman. Oh my God! I realized that each and every one of these people sitting in the room, right? And I'm talking to you. I'm not just talking to Patman. Patman is my bouncing board, okay? Because I want to interact. I realized that each and every one of you, you're multi-billionaires in terms of, time, because time is so precious that you can never buy it, Patman.
True, Japa.
How can you buy time? In fact, people, I just recently, I had friends who's struggling in the hospital, fighting for their life. They're selling their homes, raising funds, and whatever is left in their bank account, they would use it pretty much just to buy an extension of life. And so I said, and I know you all heard this before, but we don't take account of how precious time is. But it is precious. So here we have this. Imagine you're having this millions of dollars in time, because 1 minute of time is even more than $1 million. So you have 24 million. Let's put 1 minute, 1 million per 1 minute. Let's just put a price tag on time just for the sake of it. You have $24 million a day to spend, Batman. How are you going to spend it? 8 million
on sleeping
time.
8 million on sleep.
12 million sleeping time. And would you spend $1 million on one episode in Netflix, 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour would be like $1 million. Would you, if somebody tells you, okay, you could watch Netflix, pay me 1 million, you go, no effing way, you would not do it. You know what I mean? Or somebody would just gossip with you, take 2 hours of your day, which is 2 million, and you just throw it away to some miserable guy who could not organize his life, crying on your shoulder for something stupid. There goes another $2 million. Okay. And by the end of the day, Patman, you have to sleep, right? So you have to spend another what? $8 million. I think you'll go crazy if it was a situation like this. But in reality, Patman, if you look at it, and Dato always talks about how precious that you don't even know if you have another 24 million, 24 hours, would you get another 24 million tomorrow? We don't know this.
No guarantees,
this. So let's just talk about today then. Okay, how can I manage my day? Because there's so many distractions. Okay, 5 million, 5 hours in Facebook. This is the statistic I've seen. You know, I was looking some time back, and that's why I stopped Facebooking, you know, and Instagramming. You don't see me anymore, Batman. But during that time, the hottest, of course, Facebook is for the old people. It would tell, oh, that's for the old people. I don't do it anymore. You know, I joined the Instagram book and the what they TikTok or whatever they TikTok. But I don't even do that. But the point is, I was looking at during that time when I was doing it, it's like you have your app in Apple. There's this, what do you call this? They do your hour thing, what you spend. Okay, Facebook, Batman, 5 hours. But I didn't really how did I spend 5 hours on Facebook? I didn't sit down for 5 hours straight. It was those things, you know what I mean? Instagram, 2 hours. And I was checking educational reading. You know, you have this blinks and educational reading, Batman. 5 minutes. I was just so freaking embarrassed how I spend my day. After I looked at that, I was going, oh my God, this has to change. This has to change. And so this afternoon, I really want to sort of talk about the change I try to do. Of course, I'm not gonna, like I said, I cannot change you, but man, I'm not gonna say, hey, do this, right? But sort of show you kind of what I did and how I was able to improve and using my valuable time, let's call it my 24 million for the day, okay? How I would use my 24 million every day. And would you not want to spend your $24 million daily on at least something that would bring about success if tomorrow would come, that would bring about better relationship if tomorrow would still be there, would bring about better health if tomorrow would still be there, would bring about better character if tomorrow would be there, because we don't know, we might live on for another year. We cannot also be thinking, oh, I heard this Batman before. If I was to die tomorrow, what the hell, why should I even try to even make changes?
Yeah.
But what if you have to live for the next 60 years, Batman? Yeah. Isn't that also what the hell? What did I do? You know what I mean? It's like, when do I invest? People ask, when do you buy? When do you invest? Because people like this fasting, When do I buy Bitcoin? When do I buy Bitcoin? Should I buy now? Should I buy tomorrow? I said, no, I'm not going to give you the advice. My advice, just buy a little bit every day, little bit every day. If you get to live a long time, then you've invested nicely. It's called what is called this appropriation, proper you know what I mean, proper appropriation of things. So it would be a better investment for you. So one thing, Batman, I've applied very much, and I think I've discussed this, quite some time. This thing that I've learned from the Japanese, the Kaizen. And it's so useful, Batman. I don't know if you've been using it, but I'm still using it every day. Kaizen, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's on this listening, Kaizen is a Japanese principle which translates to betterment or improvement of oneself, right? Or to actually bring about changes in one's person's life. Because really, it's all about, just like what Aaron George was saying, and I would say this to you, I'm not here this afternoon, and I'm not going to waste 40 minutes of my talk teaching you how to network, because that's something, so many books already has been written on it, right? The A to Z of networking, calling, listing, making lists, all of those things. You guys could learn that on the side. But what I would like to share with you, something that is very fundamental and principle-wise that could cement more your attitude, the building of your character, because all of these ingredients, right, the principles, the foundation, you need that foundation that you would lay on top, or lay your what do you call this? You lay your structure based on this foundation. So meaning the success, right? Success, what you're building, success, your pillars, your frames, you know what I'm talking about, like a building, your roofs and all of these things must be founded upon a strong, solid foundation, your pillars. So most of the time when I speak to VCon and I speak to a lot of people, and Batman would be a witness to this, I always focus on principles, because principles are your fundamentals that you build upon. Because without those principles, right, you would have a weak structure. Success could fall apart easily. And we've seen this with so many people. And I don't call people successful like Al Pacino was not successful in a term. He's got a lot of money, but he's snorting drugs, the movie, like he was like, you have so many people who are successful, but at the same time, they've destroyed their health, they've destroyed relationship, they destroyed family. That's not success. I would not equate that to success. I like to be successful, and I'm sure you would agree with me. We would like to be successful wherein we add up to the change of the world. We add up in, supporting or serving our community, our nation, and we could cross border and in fact serve humanity at large. Right? That's the only reason why we should even be successful, because beyond providing food and shelter, what else would you need money for? It should not just be you're just here like a vacuum cleaner trying to suck in everything and enjoy it for yourself. Why we try to become successful is for rhythm. Raise ourselves so we could help mankind. At least that is the fundamentals that me and Dato started with. And we would like that this legacy continues, because it becomes your solid pillar. It becomes a reason for you. And even why we have strong leadership that was built upon it, right? It's not because they believe in me and Dato Vijay as a person, but they actually, they bought in the principle of rhythm. Raise yourself to help mankind. It attached us, together. This is really what's holding all of us together, Patman, raising ourselves to help mankind. So you get to see, okay, that's their mission. That's their purpose. I have to have a purpose, because without a purpose, we fade away. So let's always remember this purpose. Raise yourself to help mankind would never change. It was the first day one. mission statement of the company. It's our mission. It's my self mission statement. It's my personal mission statement. It's Dato's personal mission statement. And we're still true to it. We're still good to it until today on our 24th year. And I want to reiterate this principle of written, raising yourself to help mankind. So how do we raise ourselves? Raising ourselves requires us to make some personal changes. And when we speak of personal changes, we're talking about sometimes difficult stuff, but personal things. So let's begin with external things that you do on a day-to-day basis. What are the bad habits? And I'm not going to spell it out, but people know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. You got to be honest to yourself. So I'll just probably make a few examples and not to offend anybody. Okay, so you have to analyze. Okay, what can I change in me to improve? Okay, so now I'll ask you, Patman. Okay, is life important to you, Patman?
Yes, very important.
I'm sure it's important for everybody, right?
Yes.
Okay, so because I'm talking to the same, it's a person, right? I mean, you're red blood also. When I cut Ukrainian, whoever countries, same as Patman, right? They have also what Patman likes, so I'll talk to you, Patman. Okay, so your life is important to you, Patman. Okay, so then I would assume, Patman, that if life is important to you, that your health must be important to you.
Yes.
Your health.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, then I would assume, Patman, if your health is important to you, that you would do anything to be in good health.
Yes, I'll be willing to do.
It would be logical, right?
Logical.
So if that's the case, Patman, okay, you're telling me all of this, that this is right, this is good, yes, it's important for me. Then I would like to ask you, Patman, okay, so what is this smoking thing? Where does smoking comes into the being healthy and how life is important?
No,
Where is
it totally contradicts.
It contradicts.
Yes.
So you're actually you're contradicting your own principle of, hey, I wanna, life is good, what I mean? I wanna live long. It just contradicts. So then you have to look at it. Okay, wait a minute. Is this a bad habit or a good habit, Papa?
Bad habit.
It's a bad. So I have to put that now on my
let
list.
Me clarify with the crowd. I don't smoke.
Yeah,
guys.
you don't smoke.
Japa
Yeah. But anyway, so like I say again, I'm talking to Patman. I'm talking to each and every one of you.
Yes.
Now, if you have some morons out there, Patman, and they're thinking that I'm not talking to them, okay.
The keyword is morons, exactly.
Morons, right? And I'm using Patman's word, okay. Yeah. I'm also a moron. And I need, and we're all morons, but see, the best thing before we could make changes is that we must accept we're morons.
Yes.
First.
Yes, 100%.
Because if you're already thinking there that you're such a perfect human being, then please, you can go home right now, because VCon is not a place for you. VCon is a place for all the morons like me who still needs to make some changes in their lives.
Yes.
This is chapter book 3 of Patman. So anyway, the point. So Patman, now I would have now to put that smoking.
Yes.
Scratch it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how many packs do you smoke every day, Patman? 3 packs? Oh my God, how do I now make the changes?
It's going to be tough for a smoker to quit, yeah.
So, but we now apply Kaizen. What is the principle of Kaizen? The principle of Kaizen is, Patman, 1 minute. 1 minute. Can you give me 1 minute of your busy time?
Yes.
To do what? To do anything that is so big and like totally overwhelming that I could not give up, or I could not embark upon, or I could not begin with. 1 minute, Patman.
Very doable, yeah.
So we apply that 1 minute. What about, Patman, you spoke 3 packs a day. Can we minus 1 stick? from that. Every day, one stick less.
Yes, doable.
Possible, doable, one
Possible.
stick every day less. How many sticks in a pack of cigarette?
I don't know, Japa. I have to find out.
No,
I think
probably
20,
what?
I think 20. 20, yeah.
Oh, 20. I figured out it was 20. So in 20 days, Batman, you've given up
1 pack.
1 pack.
Yeah.
Is that doable?
Doable.
It's freaking doable, man. It's doable. 3 packs, if you're into 3 packs, you're done in 3 months.
Yeah.
And this gradual giving up of things makes it possible. Your body would adjust, would detox. But so now you have to replace this thing. You know, you have to replace now the habit. So you cannot just like, you don't replace it after 3 months. This one stick that you were going to smoke, Batman, which would take you how many minutes to smoke? What, 3, 5? I don't know. I've not smoked.
Yeah, I don't know also.
3 minutes.
Maybe 3 minutes, Japa, yeah.
Okay, 3 minutes break. Okay. So that one stick you're going to give up that day, Patman, you must replace it with reading a book. Reading a book. What else?
Exercise.
Exercise. It doesn't even have 3 minutes. I was telling people 1 minute of exercise. Doable for you, Patman?
Very doable.
I could challenge everybody here, 1 minute push-up. I don't think they could even complete 1 minute of push-ups.
Yes, you're right, Japa.
1 minute of push-up is 60 push-ups. Not everybody could do it.
Yeah.
But the point is, see, people are saying, oh no, I can't exercise. I don't have 2 hours. I have to go to the gym and all of those things. So we have all of these reasons that's all going on in our mind. And the beauty of Kaizen, Batman, is that literally you could do anything. Like Dato gave me this book, you know, the Musashi. Freaking like, I think it's like 2,000 pages, Batman. Yeah, you got to read this book. And man, the first page, it's just that the English is just, you know, those kind of English that you fall asleep.
The English,
you know?
I don't understand. The high level English.
Yeah, it's just so like, it's just so intellectual, you know. Like Dato reads this intellectual book, he would throw me. I said, when I was looking at it, it was like this thick. I said, no way, I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to finish that. Then I applied the Kaizen. Okay. 1 minute. 2 pages, 1 minute I read. So I bared with it. It's only 1 minute. Then I continue every day. But see, the point with the Kaizen principle is that consistency must be there. 1 minute must be 1 minute every day. Can I go over 2 minutes? Absolutely. Can I be 5 minutes? Of course, but you never go down the 1 minute. So you have the what you call the minimum. What's the minimum, Patman?
1 minute.
1 minute. Is there a limit to the maximum? No. You can go 1 hour reading. There's no problem. You could go exercising more than 1 minute. You could learn a language more than 1 minute. You could build a relationship I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, 1 minute talking to the need to talk to someone or whatever. 1 minute, and you could increase. There's no max. But see, what you've done is that you have started a snowball. When you start a snowball effect, Batman, do you need a big snowball?
Small.
You just need one. So tiny one,
Yeah.
and you just let it roll down, and eventually
Together.
the momentum picks up. The momentum picks up. The momentum picks up. Do you know, Batman? I could not run I've never run. I mean, I used to run when I was younger, but recently during pandemic, I started running again. But I was like, I tried to avoid that for many years. So I applied the Kaizen. Okay, so my first run, Batman, my first day, I got up, I put on my rubber shoes, okay, and went back to sleep. That was my, okay, I said, anyway, it's my first day. The next day, I put on the shoes, I went around my yard.
Okay.
Went back, went back to sleep. Is there an improvement?
Yes.
Yes. Then third day, I went around the block. Okay. Today, Patman, I get to run 1 hour.
Wow.
But the consistency, of course, I don't run 1 minute now. I get to run 1 hour, but I started 1 minute, became 2 minutes, became 5 minutes. It was a gradual then, because what's happening, Patman, because you're doing it consistently. And you know this, what happens when you do something consistently for 21 days?
It becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit. And you know, when something is a habit, kind of like, even sometimes I'm lazy. Okay, so busy with what? I have to still do it. It's just like, you know, just like you cannot wake up and not brush your teeth or do those things that are just embedded in you. So a lot of the things, if we want to make the change that is required for us, we have to turn it into a habit. There's just no way to it. That's why this is where the discipline comes in. And when you speak of discipline, it's like, boom, like constantly. It has to be there. And every time that you have the opportunity, you have to take it. And you don't, discipline means you don't go below the minimum, but you want to try to expand it. So apply this. You could apply this to anything. Learning a language. What is 1 minute in learning a language? What is 1 minute in finishing a book? 1 minute in learning how, you know, in networking. 1 minute making your calls, 1 minute doing this, and basically you gradually increase until you get to form a habit. Because once a habit is formed, what happens? The next character is developed. And so this is pretty much, you will see, because we talk about, you know, we talk about changes, and we cannot really force changes on anyone. Just like even this principle I talk about, right? Yeah, they hear it, they Kaizen, but do people even try to practice it? It becomes difficult, even for me. So what I've done, Patman, another technique I've done is that I use the timer of my phone. You see that, you know, your phone, all of the phone has timers.
Yeah, a countdown timer, yes.
Yeah, countdown timer. I have set 1 minute, 5 minutes timer and stuff, right? Because, you know, we cannot avoid to be distracted.
Yep.
In fact, I look at distraction as a painkiller. You know, painkiller?
Yeah.
Yeah, painkiller. For example, when you're embarking on something, you're either if you're doing work, you cannot just work straight like this for 2-3 hours. You need breaks. And that's why people walk for a smoke, right? People would distract themselves by watching some Instagram videos or stuff. These are distractions. Distractions are okay. But when distraction becomes 5 hours in a day, 1 hour in the day, which could have been used for networking, for prospecting, for signing people up, for presentations, for attending training, seminar, then that distraction, Patman, is an addiction already.
Yes.
You know, you delve into it, it becomes like an addiction. So what would be good is that you just have those 5 minutes, 10 minutes break. Can you be distracted for a Netflix for 1 hour? Yeah. But 5 hours the whole night, and the next day, your day is ruined because you could not wake up.
Yeah.
Then it becomes totally uncontrollable. So the timer is good. So when I would watch, for example, I would watch CNN, I'll put it 10 minutes. Because normally after 10 minutes, they'll repeat the same, the same news anyway, after 10 minutes. But you're sitting there, if you don't think about it, you don't control yourself, you become glued at the TV. And next thing you know, you're just watching for 1 hour, the same thing, just repeating. And commercials on the side, you know what I mean? And your 1 hour just went. But if you put a time, on those distractions. After that, then you go back to your work. You go back to your work. You go back to your things that you need to improve, because the day or the hours we have every day is very limited, 24 hours. Like I said, it's worth millions, right? You would want to spend those time for the important things, Batman.
Yes, Japa.
What are the important things? Like, again, I might be a broken record for a lot of you guys. Health is important. Health is wealth. But when are you gonna start? Okay, these young people might think, oh, what is he talking about? When are you gonna think about your health? When you're in the hospital? When you're old? When are you gonna think about health? When? When should you be thinking about health? When you're older?
No, you should start
And most
now.
people think about their health when they already have a heart attack or they had, something. But my advice, because health is a long-term thing, you begin now, right? You begin now. And it's just a very simple process that you also adopt. A good diet that you check in terms of, the food you eat. Is this food I'm eating would be good for my health? If it's not good for my health, why should I eat it? Would you eat poison, Patman?
No.
Would you drink poison?
No.
But that's what you're doing every day. With a lot of the things you're eating, you're just drinking poison, the approved poison by FDA, whatever they call themselves. The approved poison. And these poisons were approved because of the big, what do you call this? The big
operations,
operations, the big, they pay a lot of lobbies and stuff. But if you look at their labels of ingredients and stuff, it's all chemicals. Anything with like C900FX ingredients is something we should not even be putting in our system. Anyway, this is what I'm just saying, is that change, okay, is something really, it doesn't have to be big. Because it's hard to make personal changes like big time, like giving up or running. Starting tomorrow, I run 1 hour. Starting tomorrow, I give up my 3 packs of cigarettes. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna do this for 1 hour. Those are like difficult because it's not a habit yet. But when I speak about changes, we're talking about just the little things. Little things. You like eat up with it. It just grows like a snowball effect. Yeah. So, how much time do I still have?
You have 10 more minutes, Japa.
Is there any question on your part, Batman, on behalf of
how would the topic of change or gradual change be applicable, something more directly applicable to a networker on the journey of building their business, Japa?
Well, there's one thing they have to right now look into, right? If like building, just during that time we were building, and there's some, like what Aaron was saying or some of the leaders were saying, you're working, and now you're getting into some networking.
Yes.
So I never advise people to just give up their job if they're not yet earning anything, So now you would have to find, if you're working a job 8 hours a day, right? You have to find now time. You have 8 hours a day, so what's left, Patman?
16 hours.
16. No.
Yeah, you 8 hours a day, you're working.
Yes.
16 hours left. You sleep another 8 hours, you got 8 hours left.
So you have 8 hours left. So within that 8 hours, you could now build your networking. Of course, people say, oh, I don't have time anymore after work.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, that this is where you would have to cut your Netflix, your other things, and that's where you take from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's where you take from the nonsense things that we're doing on the side. it would be easily, you could get easily an hour, 2 hours per month.
So Japa,
And
just to understand, for me to change, I have to practice something, but also give up something else, right?
yes,
Yeah.
you give up, you basically, the thing is, see, you cannot give up bad habits without replacing it with good habits.
Yes, agreed.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's just like, like some, like your kid, it's like our habit is like, the kid is like chewing a slipper. Yeah, he doesn't know, he's a moron. He's chewing a slipper. He thinks there's something in the slipper. It's dirty. So what does the parent do? You pull the slipper, the kid would cry. Yeah, you pull the slipper, the kid would cry. So what the parent would do, take the slipper, boom, with a lollipop.
Yes. Yes,
Something
yes.
better. And that lollipop satisfies that loss. And this doesn't become a loss. Why? Oh, there's a higher taste. This is better than the lollipop. I'm not going to go back to the lollipop. Right? So basically, even what happened I heard what happened in Russia some time back, especially in the 80s, because during the communistic time, they were very much into vodka. When you speak of Russia, that's the only Russian word I know before, vodka. You know what I mean? Because everybody's drinking vodka and their population is just alcoholic vodka. But see, I think in the early 80s, they started adjusting. They replaced, they introduced sports to the children, gymnastics, and they started competing, after the breakdown of the communistic. They started competing, and now, right, more people are into health.
Yes.
It's just the older generation that was still left in the vodka era. You know what I mean? So that is a major change for a country. That's a major change for, even individually, that would be the change. So there must be an exchange of something better.
Yeah.
Like you're eating junk. You like to eat something junk, replace it with something healthy, and you still do the same eating. Instead of chewing a chips, you could be chewing some nice
celery or carrots. Yeah.
Not celery. I say celery, nobody would eat it. But you make some nice dips and make some, you know what I'm saying? It's just, these are just little things, little example. I don't want to get into petty things, but sometimes these little things is what we could relate with. And it's not going to be, Patman, it's not going to be overwhelming for our audience. Like, where do I start? That's my question, is like, it's just so overwhelming. There's just so many things that we need to do to be successful, right? So BJ always asks me, okay, because success has a price, isn't it?
Yes.
Success has a price.
Yes.
So the question we ask ourselves, Patman, is, are you willing to pay the price of success?
Very true, Japa.
And what is the price of success, Patman?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice, sitting in that chair, listening, and doing the other things after we go home. Does the sacrifice stop,
No.
Patman? When our friends and networkers go back home, Patman, what do you tell them? Max out, right?
Max out.
They have to max out. And for them to max out, what do they have to do consistently? Presentation, all of these things, right? But see, those are the things that we need to do. But Patman, you also don't want our leaders to be doing presentation, and at the same time, they're killing themselves in the process.
Yeah.
With their bad habits. We want a healthy networkers.
Yes.
We want healthy networkers. For me, okay, we made someone very, very rich and he's in the hospital.
No, we don't want that.
Spending his millions in the hospital. Well, then what's the point? I feel unhappy. I don't want to be a founder of a company having so many fat people and not healthy people. We should have, and this is the change we have to do. And we've learned this, Patman. We started looking into our health when we were 50. This is wrong. I started becoming serious of my health when I was 50. when all of these things were already happening, you know, whereas you could have adopted that, you
Yep.
know, even on your busy life or even on your busy networking, you know, while you're talking to someone on the phone, you know, you could be doing some
working out.
sit-ups one minute, you could be doing, you know, in your room, you know what I mean? Whatever, just like, just put it in, just like smack in all the important things that you need to do. Just do the 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute here. It's, you know what I mean? While you're brushing your teeth, you could be doing squats, you know, while you're brushing your teeth. I mean, I may sound ridiculous, but that's how it is, Batman. That's how we buy time to make the changes that we need to make. Now, is this relevant, guys, or is this a boring thing for all of you?
I think it's very relevant, Japa. I think networkers need to understand that whatever they want to change in them requires them to pay a price and make that sacrifice. But what you explain is how you do it without hating it, Japa. Because the problem is when you start hating when you start hating the sacrifice, you start hating the paying the price, that's when people quit.
Yeah, and also like Padma, you know, I always equate success like lifting a 350-pound barbell. You know what kind of training goes into the guy's weightlifter lifting a 350-pound? I heard they lift more now, but let's just talk about 350 pounds, like triple, quadruple your weight.
Yeah.
When do they start lifting? At 350, or they started like 5 pounds, 2 pounds?
5 pounds, 10 pounds.
Yeah, you start there. You build your muscles, you build your muscles, you build your muscles. And success, and Dato always tells me this, success is the same. And even the challenges that we're facing today, whatever that challenge is preparing you for the next bigger one.
Agreed, Japa.
Because if you don't, you cannot take the challenge you're taking right now. You cannot lift it. It's breaking you right now. And you don't want to carry it right now. How would you be carrying a bigger challenge tomorrow, Patman?
Yes, Japa, agreed.
And when you speak about big success, Batman, it comes with
a big price,
a bigger challenge.
Yeah, and bigger challenges, yes.
So what are we carrying? The challenge or the success?
The challenge.
For you to be successful, you have to carry the challenge.
Yes.
So 5 pounds challenge, 5 pound success.
Agreed, Japa, 100%.
Now, do you want a 350-pound success?
Yes.
Then freaking let's you know, get into building your muscle to be able to carry the 350, you know, success challenges. That's what needs to be done, but it needs to be consistently, and it's all about training, discipline, consistency, you know, practicing the principle of Kaizen. Let me just carry this for 1 minute, drop it. Tomorrow I'll carry it for 2 minutes, drop it. You know, then you're building your strength, you're building your character. And we all need this guy. You don't expect, please, whatever you think you need your leader to be. And Patman, I always hear this, oh, my leader is not like this, my leader is not like this. And like, what are you talking about? You want your leader to be this, all the wonderful characters of a leader. You could ask everyone right now what they want their leader to be, Patman, and they'll tell you so many nice things. And you ask them, okay, what about you?
Yes.
No. My leader should be patient, tolerant, you know what I mean? Trusting, what else do they go? Friendly, nice, and all those nice things, except them, Patman.
Yes. That's so true, Japa.
And are you not all leaders?
We are all leaders.
Are you not all leaders? If you're all leaders, please look in the mirror and tell yourself, if I am a leader, do I want to follow this leader right now? If I was to follow a leader, would I follow myself, Patman? That's a question I always asked myself a long time ago.
Yep.
So look in the mirror, guys. Each and every one of you, please look in the mirror and say, if I was a downline, would I follow myself?
Amazing question, Japa. So true.
And if you be sincere, of course, we're not going to get your answers. Be sincere. And if you think, oh my God, I don't think I could follow myself if I'm following you in the mirror, if I'm following you in the mirror as my upline, no freaking way I'm not going to follow you. Then make the change. Be the change that you want to see in your leaders. And that's my message for tonight.
So amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Batman.
Haribol, Japa. Thank you so